Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here with a little talk conversation about dumb thumbnails. Have you started a YouTube channel and have wondered why is my good content not being watched broadly? It could be because you have dumb thumbnails. Let's talk about it, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Everybody needs
with a whoop whoop and a boop boop.
aunties and everybody needs.
You can make this up.
Now you know that these are some crazy motherfuckers.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie.
So why even bother?
Aunties and lives, sweet old auntie. Aunties and ways. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Well, welcome back, everybody. And this is Auntie. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. To all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for joining the family. To my nieces, nephews, and my members, thank you all so much for your continued support. This is another part of the teaching series that I am doing for small content creators who are really, really serious about growing your channel. During our last session, we all talked about niches, and we'll go further into that. But one of the things that I really wanted to talk about in this particular section is thumbnails. Now, as you all know, that your thumbnail is what you use in order to describe your video. When people are scrolling back and forth, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, they are going to be looking at that thumbnail. And if that thumbnail is done properly, they're going to at least click. Now, once they click, what we want them to do is to watch. That is the goal of YouTube and why they allow over 1 billion content creators to use the platform. Their intention is that people come into the video and that they watch. Because if YouTube gets paid, then you get paid. Okay? We're going to keep it as simple and as basic as that is. What you want to do in your thumbnails is you want to capture that audience. But once you capture that audience, you want to make sure that you can maintain that audience. And what does that mean, Auntie? You want that viewer to be able to watch your video from beginning to end. You also want to make sure that the content that you are discussing on your YouTube channel is the content that you promised that you would discuss in your thumbnail. Your thumbnail is a contract with that individual. If you break your contract with them, they're going to break it with you and not give you the watch hours that you believe that you deserve. Thumbnails are everything. It is the front door to the house. You want them to come in and sit down with you and be comfortable. When we talk about the algorithm, a lot of people believe that once a person clicks on your video, that's when the clock starts. That is not when the clock starts. The clock starts with your thumbnail. What YouTube wants to do is to be able to look at your thumbnail and put it in a category with other content creators who are making similar content. But what happens when someone clicks on your thumbnail and your thumbnail is not what it is supposed to be? So what I call that is a dumb thumbnail. And so I'm going to define for you what I consider a dumb thumbnail. Okay. Now, I don't mean dumb as in you're stupid or anything that you're doing is stupid or anything like that. But you don't want to create a thumbnail that falls into that category. Okay. So I've put down a couple of things and I'm using dumb really basically as an acronym for you all. So what I said, a dumb thumbnail is description D, used U, may be or may not be believable. That description used in your thumbnail may not be true content. That description used may not be what the subject matter is about. And that description used may not benefit me. So that's what I define as a dumb thumbnail. Not stupid, not that you're not smart, but that thumbnail, that description may not be whatever it is that that individual who has clicked on your video has come to see. You want to make sure that the content that is inside of that video, when they click, benefits them, that is believable, that the description in your thumbnail absolutely describes what it is that they're going to be seeing. A content creator, a subscriber who goes out and searches on the internet for a truck or how to change the oil, let's say to change the oil. They don't want to come click on that video to change the oil and you're talking about gardening. That video now has not benefited that subscriber. They're not going to stay there long because the content that was described in that thumbnail doesn't match up with what they wanted. So in that case, it doesn't benefit them. The description that you used wasn't believable because once they got into it, you were talking about gardening and their intent is to change the oil on their car. That description wasn't true content and it wasn't what the subject matter was about. Therefore, that is no benefit to that subscriber or to that person who is looking at that. When we talk about, I'm going to go back and when we talk about the algorithm, a lot of people see the algorithm as this big beast, right? You know, what's going on with this beast? How do I get in the algorithm? You get in the algorithm through your thumbnail. That's the first thing. So YouTube is looking at it. They see the picture that's on there and they see the description that's on, and they say, up. This person goes into this particular category. They are a someone who reviews show because they have, maybe some cast members on the thumbnail. Please remember that the name, the title, the description that is in your thumbnail puts you into a certain algorithm. Again, if your content doesn't match your thumbnail, then you're in a wrong algorithm for people who are really interested in hearing what your content is about. They're not going to benefit from that because your thumbnail is now in a category that you didn't even intend for it to be. Remember that when you you make a video, to use your description, and that your description and your thumbnail should match. Not only should your description and your thumbnail match, but your content as well. And so what we don't want to do is make videos that don't match with what the content is. Also, stay focused. When you make a video, don't change the subject matter in the middle of the video. For instance, I am talking about changing my oil. This is why that subscriber, those billions and billions of people who use the YouTube platform every day, they come to see that. And so they come on your video and they're watching you change the oil. You have a very short introduction. You tell them that this is what you're doing. You pull the pan out, the air filter, the oil. You describe whether it's synthetic or not, and you begin to change the oil. And midway through the video, you now begin to talk about gardening. Is this now the same content, a lot of times we ramble on, or we want to talk about it as if we are friends. Having being a content creator, you develop that relationship through your videos, where you can have downtime in your videos, where you can talk about your garden, but make sure that you don't veer off to another subject matter. Moreover, now you're talking about changing oil, which is why they clicked on your video. You've now gone to gardening, and now you're talking about what you eat in a day. So, has that content creator benefited from what you have described in your description box, what your thumbnail says, and the content? I would have to say no. So this is interactive. We are live doing this. So if you all have questions, I will take your questions at the end of this video. If you have that, if you're really serious about this, please put your comments in, because what we want to do is help one another grow. This is why I am doing this series. I apologize for not doing it before. Had to take a couple of weeks off, but nonetheless, we want to make sure that we are delivering exactly what we have promised. A lot of people use thumbnails to do shockers. They have a video of them looking as if they are crying, and as soon as you click on that video, they're like, "Hi." They're not crying. Shock value does not retain or maintain viewers. Let me repeat that. Shock value does not gain or maintain viewers, because once they look at that thumbnail and they are expecting you to deliver something that they have found themselves relating to, this introduction that you've given them, and then they click on it and you're jolly and doing a vlog, you've now lost a potential subscriber. So don't create thumbnails and use a shock value. Y'all know what I'm talking about, those kind of videos. And then you have this, "You'll never believe what happened to me." And now we're looking at you on the beach in the vlog. That is not going to help you to build your channel. Also, yes, she called it clickbaiting, and that's exactly what it is. And I call clickbaiting dumb thumbnails. Thumbnails that the description does not match. Thank you so much for that. So, also, when you have a video that is performing, you've created your content, you are now doing your thumbnail, you are not benefiting yourself. Before you create any content, your thumbnail should be the very first thing that you create. It should not be the reverse. You create your thumbnail in your mind, then use a tool. I don't know if you all use Canva or maybe something else. Auntie uses Canva for creating my thumbnails, but that thumbnail is what you create first. You want to make sure that that thumbnail is something that is explaining or giving a description about what that content is going to be about. So there's okay. Right, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's clickbait. And, after a while, people will stop viewing. But I'll get to y'all questions and your comments later on. Thank you so much for that. So let's say you're doing an oil change. So we're going to continue in that theme. I'm going to be creating a video about oil change. What do I want them to know about this oil change? Am I going to take them from the beginning of the process to the end of the process? Am I going to be talking about synthetic oil, as opposed to non-synthetic oil? Am I going to be talking about how often you should change the filter? Am I going to be talking about how to get the pan out, how to properly lift the car up? As you're creating that content in your mind and knowing what you're going to do, that thumbnail should mirror exactly what it is. If you're not going to be talking about or doing a video on changing oil from the beginning to the end, then you don't want to create a thumbnail that gives that subscriber or that potential viewer or that potential subscriber, you don't want to give them a thumbnail that says, I'm going to be changing my oil from the beginning to the end. You want to be specific about what it is that you're going to be talking about. Synthetic oil versus non-synthetic oil will get true subscribers and true viewers. It's not going to, I know a lot of times, we're trying to get the multitude, but sometimes you just got to start slow. You got to start where you are and give that content. Also, if you are a new if you are a new content creator and you don't have so many subscribers, your face should be eliminated from your content or from your thumbnail. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow because people believe that I am my best advertisement. And that may be true in some circumstances. But if your thumbnail consists of your face and nobody knows your face and can't relate your face to anything, then using your face does not benefit them and will have them to scroll down. Most people click on familiar faces or familiar objects. So you want to make sure that you're giving them that familiar face or that familiar object. For instance, because I always want to give you all a for instance, because I want to be as honest and as transparent about this. We're going to be going through this series, and I really do want to help. I've been looking at so many content creators who quit and who are not at 1,000, or they're watching everybody else grow and they're not growing, and they're wondering, why am I not growing? These little small simple things that I'm telling you about will help you to grow and help you to be a great content creator producing great content. I never want my people or my subscribers on this channel or on my other channel to come and click on a video and it's not what they thought it would be. That is extremely disappointing for me as someone who uses a platform to do research or to find out about vitamins and hair wigs and all of that kind of stuff. And I don't want to click on your review and you're on the beach. I don't want to click on your video and you don't complete the subject matter. I want you to take me from the beginning of the end, and I want your thumbnail that engage me, because that's our first engagement, to be a disappointment. If they don't know your face, don't use it until you develop that true audience who at sight know who you are. If you're looking at a video and you see John Travolta, he is a familiar face, you're going to click because you're familiar with him, you're familiar with his work, you're familiar with his craft. But if you are an actress or actor and no one has ever seen you on screen, then why use your face? You can use something else to bring and capture that person in, and then introduce yourself to them. Not introduce yourself to them like you do on a job interview, but introduce your personality, who you are as a content creator, and get straight down to business. Now, with the thumbnail, I have learned that you can always go back and regenerate a video. So don't be in despair if you have been one of those people who have done this. Because what you can always do is go back to a thumbnail of a video that you know was 100% accurate, can be beneficial to people. You want it to be believable. You can go back and change that thumbnail. Once you change that thumbnail, guess what? Y'all not going to believe this. It puts your video right back into the algorithm. It gives you another opportunity to do it again. You do have do-overs with YouTube. They are forgiving and they don't hold grudges. Okay? Unless you mess up with the terms of agreement. Okay? If you mess up with the terms of agreement, then they don't have a forgiving heart. But you have an opportunity to go back and change a thumbnail of a video that you believe is underperforming. And I'm going to take some time right now and show you a couple of videos that I did recently, because I've been going through and seeing how this thing works. How does this really work, Auntie? Because I don't want to bring you something that I can't say has been true for me. So I have a couple of a couple of thumbnails that I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to show you, and we'll talk about the difference. Now, I'm not going to show you my analytics because that ain't none of your business, but I am going to show you where I had some mess-ups, some thumbnails that weren't really clear, and they did not result in a good click and a view. Note, if you're doing show reviews, like myself, I do show reviews, and you are reviewing a new show for the first time, do not expect 100,000 views on it. People like what's familiar, okay? And you're only in competition with yourself. Don't find yourself in competition with anyone else. We'll talk about vidIQ and all of that kind of stuff later on, but you are only in competition with yourself. So don't be discouraged. Don't be despondent. Okay. So let me bring up a couple of thumbnails that I did that I had to go back and say, hey, this is not getting the clicks and the views that I think that it should get. And the views are quite low on it. And I need to go back and change it. So I'm noticing that one of these didn't come over. Oh my goodness, where is it? Okay. So, yeah, a couple of them didn't come over. Oh, so we'll actually go to my channel then and we'll look at them and I'll show them to you. So let me bring up my channel real quick if I can. Just 1 second. I hope you all are here. I'm going to go bring my own channel up so that I can actually go through the content. Just 1 second. I'm going to go through the content and we'll see how I changed, how I actually changed those thumbnails. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're going to take a visit to my channel so that you can see some of them. So this was are you all still here? Because I'm not going to be able to see the comments, okay? So this is a video that I did a couple of weeks ago. And it is on one of the shows that I reviewed called Seeking Sister Wives. When I did this thumbnail, as you all can see, bed must be 12 feet. David's turned down. Got my icon up there, and I've got these women. Can you tell me in the description box why you believe that this did not get the views that I thought it would? Number one, it's too busy. When a thumbnail has a whole lot going on, it does not capture the attention of those people. It's not going to capture because it's just too much going on. And if you don't watch the show, you don't know what that means. So then how can I use that thumbnail to gain a new audience? It's not going to happen, Captain. So when I looked at the video, I usually give a video maybe about 10 to 12 hours. It depends on how long I sleep. I go back and I look, is this getting the traction? Well, this video did not get the traction. It probably was out there because maybe 24 hours, and it hadn't even reached 1,000 viewers. So now I know that my description, the detail that I have out there is not capturing the viewer. Now, yes, it is a new show that I'm covering. It usually takes you probably about a year to really, really engage your audience, right? You have to go through like a whole cycle, in my opinion. You have to go through a whole cycle of reviewing the show before you really start getting and maintaining those faithful subscribers who are looking at that. But let me show you. Now, as I see it, it didn't even get 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 views. But I went back and I changed it. I said, you know what, Auntie, you need to make this less descriptive of what you are talking about in this video, and zoom in on one thing for the viewer to be able to recognize what the hell is going on with your thumbnail, Auntie. Okay. So let me, just 1 second. Let me bring this up. Just 1 second. Trying to get that video, that thumbnail. Just 1 second. I don't know how to isolate it. Hold on, y'all. Of course, how do I get this? I know how to get it. Hold on a second, because this isn't going to work. I hope y'all are still with me. I'm going to show you all that same video with a different thumbnail that I changed. Again, you can always change your thumbnail. YouTube will not hold you, lock you, tie you up. Okay, so let me get to that thumbnail and show it to you. I'm sorry I have to do it this way, but I'm coming. Are you all getting anything? Put a 1 in the chat if you feel like you're learning something. Put a 2 in the chat if you like, Auntie, I still don't understand what the hell you talking about. Give me some feedback, y'all. So quiet. So, this is the video, the new thumbnail that I created to replace that one. Now, the subject matter was in that video, why Nick wasn't working. That was one of the things that came up in the subject matter of the video. This is cleaner. You know the characters if you watch the show. You are now familiar with them, and this now will bring you in. The video went from one like what 972 views, and it went all the way up to 7.9 views, 7,000.9 views. Now, if I want to regenerate more action on that video, guess what I can do? Change my thumbnail, refresh the thumbnail and the title. So when I first do my reviews, I come out and I say, hey, this is Auntie, this is a review, and I put on there a review of XX Seeking Sister Wives. That was season 4, episode 11. Changing your thumbnail and the title of your content regenerates that and puts it back out in that algorithm. I know y'all don't think this is true, but I'm telling you, it's tried and true. I've tried it for myself. I do it all the time now for videos that I believe I want to go back out into the algorithm. As many people know, I have been doing my 600-pound life. It has been gone for maybe 6-7 months or something like that, and it is about to come back. A great thing for me to be doing right now, knowing that the show is coming back, is to regenerate those thumbnails, create new thumbnails and new descriptions to put that engagement back out there in anticipation for the new season. I want to show you all another one, if I can. Bill's House Rules was the first thumbnail that I used. The picture is blurry, the pixels aren't clear on it, and unless you are familiar with the show, Inmate to Roommate, you have no idea what this thumbnail means. What does Bill's House Rules mean? That was me being lazy. Not taking the time out to really think it. I'm rushing. At this point, I had taken off a couple of days and I knew I needed to put a video out. So I put this out. This thumbnail is only going to appeal to my subscribers who are familiar with it. But for people who are going out and Googling, what is Inmate to Roommate? Because they've heard someone talk about it. This is the new thumbnail. Rant, Inmate to Roommate, and it has Bill's picture on that. That video went up in viewership, and when you read your analytics, it will tell you because you changed this, because you did this, more people watched. YouTube analytics is going to give you the information about a video and its performance. You just have to take the time to look at your analytics. You may just want to put it, in your journal and say, I'm going to watch my analytics. I'm going to review my analytics. Give myself 30 minutes to review what YouTube is saying is appealing to my audience and what YouTube is saying is not. So there's a big difference. Now this appeals to a bigger audience because unless you know what Bill's House Rules are, you're not clicking on this video. Let me go and see how many views is on this video. So this video now has 5.8 views. Now that may not seem like a lot to some people, but with this one, it wasn't getting the hits. With this one, I was able to get the content and give my audience a understanding of what I'm doing. I am doing a review on Inmate to Roommate. And not only am I doing a review, I'm doing a rant. So when people go out and they search for it, I should come up in the algorithm. Now, sometimes, you may not rank first in the algorithm, but there are even ways of trying to do that. I have one more that I want to show you all, one more video that I did, and a thumbnail. This was a thumbnail. Kathleen Martinez. For all of those people who have been following 90 Day Fiancé and following the trending news, they're familiar with her. But I noticed that a lot of people in the chat were saying, who is she? Who is this woman? But I wanted her to be able to get the credit for it. When I looked at this review, it had maybe about 2,000 or 3,000 views on it at the time that I put this up. But I knew that this review could gain more, and I knew that I wanted more people to be able to hear about what was actually going on with Muhammad and with Eve. And I wanted to give the attorney the opportunity to explain some of that information. But if you're looking at this and you see Eve there, now know that some of these pixels are off because it's being spread across the screen. But I want to now show you all with the same exact video. Okay, so let me find a photo. I often save these. So I'm going to take this off of the screen. And now I want to show you all what I changed it to. Same video. The video did not change. The content inside of it did not change. But I changed the thumbnail to say massive proof of fraud. Now you clearly see the 90 Day Fiancé character, and you clearly see the attorney. This video now has 17,000 views. That's the difference in creating a thumbnail that is going to appeal to not only your subscribers, but to those who are coming out looking for that content. It went from a couple of thousand to 17,000 views. Now, again, that ain't like 100,000 views. We're growing, we're getting there. But I want you to see what it means to have a video or a thumbnail, the impact of a thumbnail. People need to make sure, we need to make sure as content creators that we are giving them exactly what they are coming in there to get. When you go into this video, you're going to see that I am introducing the attorney. The attorney is talking about the case. We did an interview. And so you're getting exactly. She provides proof of why Muhammad is not going to get exactly what Muhammad wants to get out of this. It's a win-win for everybody. And then after you change that, I believe I changed the title of the video, and I made sure I gave a clear description because the algorithm is reading everything. I know that a lot of us focus on tags, but if your thumbnail isn't accurate, if your description does not talk about what it is, they could kill us about your tags. Your viewer doesn't understand tags. They understand the description of that thumbnail, and that's what they're going to click on. So I'm hoping that I provided helpful information, and what I mean by a dumb thumbnail. Does it benefit? Is it believable? Is it what you said it's going to be when they click on it? Make sure that you stay in your niche, you stay in your subject matter, and you don't veer off and talk about 50 other things. If you do, create another video. Stop where you are, once you provided all the information that you have to provide as it relates to that oil change, stop talking in the video and create another video about your garden. Once you talked about your garden, don't go and talk about your vacation. Stop the video. Create another video about your vacation. Don't use clickbait. Use a thumbnail where it's not believable, because that's, in my opinion, a dumb thumbnail. It does not benefit anyone. It's not beneficial. It's not believable. It's not true content, and it's not what the subject matter of the thumbnail says it is. I hope that this has been helpful to you all. If you all don't have any questions, I am going to be doing one-on-one. If you are interested in having me to review your channel, to look at your thumbnails and how I set it up to help you with this, I am going to be offering one-on-one reviews of channels. It is not free because it's my time. If you are interested in having me review your channel to help you out with your thumbnails, you can reach me at this email address. You can reach me at this email address, and I will be more than happy to let you know what the fees are in order to, have me review your channel, and make suggestions to you about what you could do to improve your videos. Or you can take the time yourself, go back, look at it, review it, and say, is what I'm saying in here, do I need to cut this video down? Because I veered off into another subject. If that's the case, that's fine. Cut it down. YouTube now has an editing tool built into the platform. When I started YouTube, they didn't have that. Now they have it built into the platform where you can splice it, create a new video off of it, change the thumbnail, and put it out there like it's brand new content. There are all kinds of ways of growing your channel. And I don't want anyone to quit. I've seen people who have quit or who have taken 3 weeks off and 4 weeks off. And I'm saying, no, stay on the platform. Stay on the platform. Just tweak some things. And at first, it may seem like it's hard, but after a while, it becomes easier and easier. What I lie and say is not time consuming. Hell yeah, it's time consuming. Especially when you are a content creator like myself, who's basically doing YouTube videos every day. It becomes extremely time consuming, but it's worth it to build the family that I have built. And I just want to do whatever it is that I can do to help you all. So I am going to be committed to this, helping you all grow, especially as we go into the winter months. You're going to be spending more time at home, hopefully, and you'll have an opportunity to create more content on the platform. And so this is the perfect time for us to be going into this and talking about these things. Again, reach out to me if you would like me to do a one-on-one, and I'll let you know what the price rates are for doing an analysis of your thumbnails. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to my members and my subscribers who ain't even interested in doing YouTube, but just here to support your auntie. I love you all so much. And until we meet again, you all, be safe. Make that content. Let's grow together, y'all. Love y'all. Bye.